Happy New Year's Eve, everybody, and welcome inside Taco Bell Arena in Boise, Idaho for today's key Mountain West Conference matchup between the visiting Rams of Colorado State and the Boise State Broncos. And hi, everyone. Peter Young along with Blaine Fowler. Both of these two teams, Blaine lost 4 starters from a year ago. They're both very young, but they've got some key upperclassmen who've been stepping up to provide leadership and production.
Yeah, for the Rams, Emmanuel Amagbo has been big all season long, averaging a double-double, 12.1 points a game, and a league-leading 10.7 rebounds. Great field goal percentage. He's a double-double waiting to happen, coming off a 15.13 rebound effort against UNLV in the conference opener. And on the other side for the Broncos is Chandler Hutchison, who's been outstanding, the junior. You know, with the early departure of James Webb, he had to step it up, averaging 17.8 points a game, 8.3 rebounds, and shooting 54% from the field. Skilled in all areas. He can play the 1 through the 4.
Larry Eustace, head coach for Colorado State, his 5th season in Fort Collins, 26th overall. There you see it, 2 wins away from 500 in his career, which is an amazing milestone. Leon Rice, this is his only head coaching job here at Boise State. It's the 7th season, 130 wins. He's won 20 games nearly every year he's been here.
Yeah, such consistency. These are 2 basketball teams that are extremely well coached, but also very, very young. Both teams lost 4 starters in the offseason.
And the Rams win the tip. They are in the road green, and the Broncos in the home white. And Boise State starting out on defense man-to-man. They have done a great job this year, Blaine, of really guarding the 3-point line. Best in the conference. Good shot by the Rams, no good. Air ball, Hutchison with the rebound. Can't give him that. He will hit that all day long.
You were watching him in warm-ups from that spot right there, and he just knocked down one after the other. That's the spot. You better find him in transition, or he will hurt you big time with transition threes.
And, of course, Nick Duncan, the senior from Sydney, Australia, who has been doing that, hitting 3-pointers, his entire career here for the Broncos. Good interior passing by the Rams. Shot by Omago, no good, and he will go to line, shoot 2.
This Colorado State team is number 4 in the country in free throws made. And there's a reason for that, not just because they're a good free throw shooting team, but because they get to the line. They attack the inside of your defense on a regular basis. They'll do it off the dribble. They'll do it with interior passing. And Leon Rice told us one of the big keys for this Boise State defense is to stay in front of the basketball and not foul.
Easier said than done. Omagbo, 68% free throw shooter on the season. Second leading scorer behind Gian Clavel. One out of 2, and Duncan with the rebound. Both teams also off to a great start this year, Blaine, in terms of rebounding and their rebounding margin. They're 1 and 2 in the conference.
And that's been Colorado State's mantra for years and years under Larry Eustace. In fact, every team he coaches, as we see Chandler with his skill set. Boy, he's so good. At 6'7", he handles the ball like a point guard. He can go down and post you up. He can take you off the dribble. He can hit off the dribble. Just such a complete player, averaging 17.8 a game this season.
Very productive as well, 54% field goal percentage. And that one good. 3-pointer up and in by Prentice Nixon. Hutchison again on the drive with the left hand, no good. And David Wacker with the offensive rebound, but Clavel stripped him. And Clavel actually was the one who hit that 3 moments ago. Good interior defense by the freshman Justinian Jessup for the Broncos to tip that pass. Tend to shoot. Broncos very patient on this possession. Down to 5. Austin with a little hesitation. The glass, good. Paris Austin, the sophomore from Oakland, California. He has always been quick from the moment he stepped on campus, but the coaches like his pace this year.
And Carvacho, he took it right at the big 6'11" center and was able to use his body to shield the basketball and get that, complete that, and finish it at the rim.
Coach Stacy talked about it earlier today, Blaine. He really wanted to be able to control the tempo. Both teams, though, are doing a nice job getting a lot of points up on the board this year.
And this Prentice Nixon, who's coming off a really nice ball game, 15 points and 3 rebounds in that conference opener against UNLV. Last season averaging just 4 points. He's really picked it up this year, 11.7 points a game.
Clavel with the steal. And Hutchison trailing. Clavel right to the rim. And it is a 7-6 ball game.
And he went off in the UNLV game, 21 points, 11 rebounds in that opener. He was 3 of 6 from 3, but you see he's very skilled with the basketball in his hand in the open court.
Austin from 15 feet, good. Boise State gets the lead back. For Clavel, this is only his 6th game this year. Had to miss 9 games due to a suspension for some legal issues that he had suffered. Missed a lot of last year as well with that broken hand.
And he started off last year. You see a deep miss that time, Amagbo from that left corner. He started off on a tear before the injury. In fact, I was thinking, man, this guy could be player of the year. He's averaging 21 points a game and 6.5 rebounds before his injury.
Duncan. He had a good look. And when he has a good look, coaches will tell you that's like a layup.
He absolutely has the green light on those. Rebound secured by Amagbo on the pick and roll here.
And Amagbo is going to go to the free throw line again for the 2nd time here to start things off. 15:54 to go in the first half. Boise State 9, Colorado State 8. Both teams starting off. Nice shooting percentage. Well, that last foul was on David Wacker, and that is his 2nd. Just over 4 minutes into this ball game. 9-8 your score for Coach Leon Rice and the rest of the Broncos. Big win earlier this week up at Utah State, where they had such a hard time getting any wins over the years. Now they've won 3 straight.
It's a hard place to play. That home environment in the Spectrum is brutal, and their student section is especially brutal up there to try to play in front of. So that's a big win.
Well, I mentioned before we left for that last commercial, both teams with good shooting percentage. CSU at 60% and Boise State at 66.
Amagbo with his 2nd point in the game. Both, of course, coming on free throws. You mentioned the 2 fouls on Wacker. The one thing Leon Rice has this year with his Boise State team, he's got a lot of size. So he's got multiple guys he can throw up there and use fouls. Wacker at 6'11", Haney 6'11", George is at 6'11". So
editor Zach Haney was checked in for Wacker, number 11. Another steal for CSU. Bad pass by Hutchison and Nixon with it. Inside to Carvacho. And he just throws that one away. They had talked about it, wanted to go inside out, but that's inside outside to the first row.
James Reed for Boise State did a good job of playing the outlet pass. So the ball was down in the post. He wanted to kick it just right back out. And Reed pressured that release valve, so he tried to go cross court and just couldn't make the good pass.
Reed with it, number 55, the redshirt senior out of Bend, Oregon. Probably the most vocal player on this team. Step back 3, and he took an extra step.
Well, and he knocked it down, and he just looked like, what? Come on.
He started off this year 3 for 20 behind the three-point line, but has picked it up quite a bit since then. Clearly has the green light.
He's an excellent shooter. You look at his percentage for the season, it's at 31.4, but he's 13 of his last 31. He is a much better shooter than the percentage shows right now from behind that three-point line.
Clavel pull up, no good. Reed with the rebound. So far, Boise State doing a nice job of keeping the Rams off the offensive glass. And Hutchison, coast to coast.
And as I watched Hutchison last year, he wasn't getting as much playing time. He was playing 19.8 minutes a game. He was a role player, But you look at his progress from last year to the beginning now, and my heavens, he's made a big, big jump. And we asked Leon Rice about that, and he says, yeah, he's made a big jump, and he had to with James Webb going out, declaring early and foregoing his senior season to go into the pros. I would say into the NBA, but that didn't happen for him. He's in the D-League right now. But it forced Hutchison to grow up a little faster than maybe they thought he would, and he has responded in a big, big way.
1 out of 2, tied at 10 with 14:40 to go. This is also the first year for Boise State post Anthony Drimmick and Derek Marks in that long era that they had.
That's the first thing I said to Liam when I saw him. I said, it just seems so weird to watch you guys practice and not have Drimmick out there. It seems like he's been here forever.
Nice ball fake by Colliker. Tried to get his offensive rebound. When a guy starts going for his rebound, the second it's out of his hands,
yeah, he knew
sign.
That was off.
Now he's going to try for about 15, and he's short. Colliker doesn't get a whole lot of shots up. He's only averaging 3.9 points per game.
And he's a sophomore transfer from Snow College, but he had an opportunity to start some games early on in the season, and a confidence thing for him. He needs to get enough minutes and enough shots to feel good about it because he's a very good shooter.
And he is getting over 17 a game, minutes that is. Stacy does a nice job of really getting guys in and out of the lineup and onto the court. He's only got one player, that's Clavel, averaging over 30 minutes a night.
Yeah, and he'll go 10, 11 into his lineup without even thinking about it, which is a nice luxury to have. If all of them can contribute, there's not a big drop-off.
Colorado State 0 for 4 in his last 4 shots spread over about 3 minutes. This is Page, 7 to shoot, and Hutchison with a steal, 2-on-1. And he gives it to Reed with the left hand and one. Well, great dish, textbook, 2-on-1.
Yeah, Hutchison with the ball in the open court knowing, hey, if I can get the defense to commit to me, then I can dish it off. A beautiful dish to James Reed with a finish.
So Nixon with the foul at the line this year. Reed a 71% free throw shooter. Boise as a team just under 70%.
And Reed, as you mentioned, vocal out there. He's a floor general, leader, smart.
Clavel, yes.
When you watch Clavel at 6'4" and 190, he's very athletic, elevates on that jump shot, just soft touch and good rotation on the basketball.
Rams leading scorer since he came back into the lineup at 13.4 points per game. And that bucket stops that little streak that the Rams just couldn't get anything to go. Haney, it looked like he turned off the wrong shoulder there.
Well, he turned
back.
That
was not even close.
Colliker did a good job of closing out. As he turned and lost ground, and instead of giving him that space, Colliker pressed up on him and made that a really difficult shot on the baseline.
Foul on Reed, and now the Rams have a chance to take the lead. After that hot start, CSU now only shooting 44%. Bronco still 56% for the game. Colliker, nice aggressive move. He has been aggressive offensively since he came into the game. Another defensive rebound for the Broncos.
And that's the way Colorado State wants to get threes, inside out, a drive and a dish to the outside, but can't convert.
And Austin on the drive. First foul on Nixon. So Nick Duncan takes a seat. And Robin George in for him, 6'11", 253 sophomore out of Berlin, Germany. You got a big lineup in there for the Rams right now with Hutchison, George, and Haney. And George is going to get called for a foul. Well, if you want to get on the court, you got to be able to box out if you're playing for Larry Station,
no
right?
question about it. I asked him one time a number of years ago, why is it that no matter where you're at, doesn't matter if you're in Idaho or in Southern Miss or Iowa State, Utah State, Colorado State, you name it, his team's always right up at the top of the country in rebound margin. I said, is it something you teach technique-wise? He goes, no. These kids just know if you don't rebound, you're going to be sitting right next to me. So if you can't do it, and you don't execute what we're teaching you, you'll sit down, and the kids recognize to get playing time, you better rebound.
Defense by Boise State. Tough shot by Anthony Bonner, the redshirt freshman from Lawrence, Kansas. Austin gets his shot blocked by Omagbo. And that's one of those situations that Coach Rice talked about. Austin can get into the paint with his quickness, but when he gets there, what's he going to do with it? And it's been Hutchison who's had the great start so far for Boise State. 1-point game. Back in Boise, we got a couple more hours before the potato drops here in Boise. They don't do the ball drop. They do
a potato drop, which I didn't know if that was really a thing. Somebody told me, but I was talking to the officials, and they said, yeah, we Googled it. It's a thing. They do have a potato drop downtown. So,
having lived in the Gem State for many years, the potato industry is a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Boise State with the ball, chance to extend their lead just a little bit. That pass tipped by Clavel. Clavel right now leading scorer for both teams with 7.
Boise State so far in this ballgame, good shot selection. They've got some transition buckets that have made that shooting percentage go up there. 5 of 11, 45.5%. And 4 of 11 for Colorado State, struggling just a little bit at 36%.
They have done a nice job on Jessup. He has been quiet after that great game against Utah State the other night. That one short by Reed. Duncan took a shot to the nose. Oh, wide open look for Devakio Butler. And an offensive rebound. Only the second of the game. I was just going to say, Blake, that the Broncos have done a great job on the glass.
Well, Colorado State, Larry Station's always had a unique way of preventing other teams from getting into transition, and that is they're going to go so hard to the offensive glass, lots of times with 3 guys and only have 2 back, but they're going to make you focus so much on the offensive glass that and getting that defensive board that you don't get out and run as effectively. That's one way to affect transition that people don't think about.
Omagbo is the leading rebounder in the conference at 10.7 a game. And as a team, the Rams are the leading offensive rebounding squad.
And because he's such a good rebounder, he leads the Mountain West. He's 18th in the country, but he's got 14 career double-doubles now. That's an impressive number, and he's averaging a double-double this year at 12.1 and 10.7.
He'll take a seat. Jay Bob will check in. 6'6" junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, getting 20 minutes a night. Reed trying to set that screen for Duncan. Duncan gets another one.
Well, those are halfway down, rattling and coming out.
Missed his last 2 after hitting that first 3 to start things off.
Oh, he's not shy about threes. He was 62 of 177 last year.
Talk about not shy. Look at Clavel. He's got 10 in the first half with Jessup right in his face.
He is a guy that can light it up and get a shot even if he's closely guarded.
Well, last 2 minutes, both teams have really cooled off. And the defense, too, Blake. Both teams playing very good defense. Jessup with his first look of the night. That one a little bit short. Clavel with the rebound.
Boise State, a team not shy about getting threes up. They've made at least 227 threes as a team in all 6 of Leon Rice's seasons as a coach here. So that's the low water mark is 277.
Jessup with the steal. To Austin. Left hand. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Blocking foul on the Rams. When you think of great defense in the Mountain West Conference, you think of Coach Fisher and you think of San Diego State. Right behind them this year, Boise State and Colorado State in terms of scoring defense.
Yeah, doing a great job, and part of that is being able to control pace. Larry Eustace told us when we met with him this afternoon, he says, we want to push the basketball. The Rams, he says, we got the athletes to get out and push it. But he says, I want them to be very, very, boy, that's a tough one for Duncan to be down, because he means so much in terms of leadership, scoring, everything for this basketball team. But back to Eustace, he said we want to push the basketball because we have athletes that can score in transition. But if it's not there, if we don't have numbers, he's making these guys take it back out and get in the half court and run their stuff.
Well, it looks like it was the left ankle. I mean, if you play basketball long enough, you're going to roll your ankle. There's not a question of
And sometimes, you played a lot of years. Sometimes you roll it and it feels awful, and you get up and you walk on it and it starts to loosen back up and you're okay to go. Other times it's just, boy, you see him.
With a little bit of after the fact.
Yeah.
Boy, it doesn't take much, right? You could stand in there and you step on somebody's foot.
You just catch the edge of somebody else's sneaker, and next thing you know, you're rolling it to the outside. And that's the one that usually happens. Yeah, anybody that's played any length of time has done it at least double-digit times, right? He's got that shoe off. Maybe they
just go back and
maybe retape it, make it feel a little bit more secure.
Both teams now from the floor under 40%. Austin at the line this year, 71% free throw shooter, getting 10 points a night in 28 minutes. Leads the team in assists. Also leads the team, second on the team in turnovers, which is also one area. Neither team has really done all that well. That assist-to-turnover ratio in the conference, these two teams are dead last.
And you know what? You get better when you get more experience in that area. Veteran teams take care of the basketball better, and Austin's just a sophomore. He's a consensus four-star recruit coming out. And you see him for that reason, right? One of those reasons is that right there. So aggressive with the basketball and athletic. He was rated a top 20 point guard in the country coming out of high school. He had a game when he was a senior. 43 points. He made 12 threes in a high school basketball game.
He hardly shoots them this year. He's only 2 for 10. When you got so many good three-point shooters on your team, that's the smart decision by the point guard, is get it to them.
And I think for Austin, the game slowed down a little bit this year in his second season, where he's seeing things a little bit better. And you can't play fast until the game slows down for you. Until things, you're reacting because the things you're seeing are processing in your mind where they seem like they're slow, and now you can play full speed because he's a very athletic, quick guy.
He makes them both. It's a 2-point game. Halfway through this first half. Clavel just backing in the freshman. And that was tipped. Shot clock at 10. Skip pass. Now you got one to shoot, and they barely get it off in time, though they don't. Shot clock violation. That was a tough pass for Bob to handle. Excuse me, check that, Kamani Jackson.
Well, and Shea Bob had the right idea. There was enough time to do what he did, to wrap around and get it to Kamani Jackson, but because the pass wasn't crisp and he had to track it down, that's where he ran out of time. If that pass was accurate, he had plenty of time to get that shot off.
Hutchison just takes his man one-on-one. That's where he's such a difficult matchup for shorter guards.
Yeah, what do you do? If you put somebody that's quick enough to stay in front of him, he just manhandles him with size. And if you put a little bit bigger player on him with length, he's very, very quick and can go by him.
Pull-up, no good. Anthony Bonner. Rebound for Cameron Oluyaton. Haney's going to try a three. They leave him open. No good. Only 3 for 8 coming into tonight from behind the arc. Clavel really feeling it.
That was not an uncontested three. That's
his second in a row.
That's a three with a hand in the face, and he's just saying, you know what? I'm feeling it right now. The basket looks like it's 6 feet around, and I'm going to elevate over the top and knock this thing down, and he did. Again.
And Haney goes up, and he is fouled. Shea Bob will send him to the line.
It was a good feed, high-low from Justinian Jessup that time. Drew the defense up high and allowed Haney to seal off his man down low, and a good entry pass.
Clavel now with 13 points in the first half. Perfect 3 for 3 from behind the arc. Haney misses the first. 59% free throw shooter. So Amagbo is checking back in. And Bob will take a seat.
And Haney, a guy that came out of high school, Humble, Texas, with a reputation as a really solid defender, defensive player of the year in his league. And, but he's a guy that at 6'11" can run the floor and hit threes.
Misses them both. It's kind of a luxury we haven't seen much at Boise State under Coach Rice to have these really big bodies. And he's got a bunch of them this year.
To fit into his style, though, if you're going to have a bunch of bigs, they still have to be able to run the floor and hit threes, and I think all these guys can do that.
Nice pass to Jackson. Good footwork to create a little bit of space against Haney, the shot blocker.
Great job. Stepped in and then backed away from the defender to create that space to get the shot off. Well done.
Haney's going to try it from 15 feet. They leave him wide open.
Yeah, all of these bigs for Leon Rice have nice touch and have some range with that shot.
Haney's going to get some more minutes here in this first half because you've got still no sign of Duncan on the bench, and Wacker's got 2 fouls. Good defense. Omagbo can't get it to drop. Here comes Austin. Tipped out of bounds by the Rams. It will stay. Bronco basketball, and Nick Duncan has just reappeared back onto the Boise State bench, so he's got it taped back up. He's going to try and get back in. But it is the Clavel show right now. The Rams lead by 3. There's Nick Duncan, the senior from Sydney, who rolled his ankle moments ago, so they taped it back up. And he's going to give it a go. And sometimes that really is the best thing. It's not so much somebody's got all of this valor. It's, hey, while you're warm, get out there and keep it loose.
You keep it going and it stays loose. Once you get off it, so many times too, you sprain an ankle, and you go and you play. You play a number of minutes after that. It seems fine.
Yep.
You go home the next morning, doesn't feel so good. That's where the swelling sets in, right?
So let's see how he does. Good take and a great block by Kamani Jackson. Challenging Hutchison at the rim, and it's off the Broncos, so it's Rams basketball.
Jackson, really athletic and long, 6'8". You saw it there as he elevated to block that shot.
Boise State playing 1 for 8 from behind the arc, uncharacteristic. Yet only down 3.
From the field, these teams are identical. They're both 7 of 17 before that last block. Coming out of the timeout, 41.2%.
7 to shoot. Here's Clavel. Skip past Page is going to try it with a hand in his face. The lefty no good. And run down by the Rams. And that's where you talk about just great emphasis. You can do all the rebounding drills you want, but if the coach doesn't emphasize doing what Butler just did, the guys won't do it.
Well, and they talk about how to get to the offensive glass and attacking it there, but against this Boise State team, we talked with Larry Stacey about strategy and rebounding. He said, they take a lot of long shots because they're aggressive hitting those or shooting those threes.
Yep.
So he says it's not just the guys down low that have to rebound. The guards have got to get to that elbow and make sure that they block out as well, because those long shots result in long rebounds. And if your guys aren't there, you don't get them.
It was fun talking with Coach Stacey earlier today, because his first head coaching job was at the University of Idaho. That was back when Boise State was in the Big Sky, so he has played or coached a number of games in this arena. I mean, this was the arena in the Big Sky back in the 80s when they built it.
He was reminiscing with us about it, and he reminisced about 3 or 4 games, and he said, you know what, I've had some good times in this building. So it was fun to reminisce with Coach.
Shot no good. Hutchison with the rebound. And they want to push, and he's going to push, and that's kind of a silly foul by J.D. Page.
And he knew it. It's just like, it's one of those ones where you foul and they call it and you just lower your head and go, what was I thinking right there? Why?
That also speaks to the fact that Stacey's going to have all of his players crash the offensive boards, where so many coaches will tell a guard or two, make sure you get back.
Yep.
Coach Stacey says everybody's crashing, which
Yeah.
puts pressure on the other team. And so Page was kind of caught out of position. .620 left. Neither team going to be anywhere near unless things pick up in the second half as to what they've been doing most of the season, scoring-wise. We're going to foul underneath the basket. And this is going to be on the Rams.
And that time Clavel was well defended by Paris Austin down low. Did a really good job of playing defense with his feet, not reaching, and forcing Clavel to take a really difficult baseline jump shot.
So 1-1 for Hutchison, who at the line tonight is only 1 for 3. He's got 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Now 1 for 4.
And he's usually solid from the free throw line. It's not spectacular, but 69% is not bad.
Boise State, 36% for the free throw line as a team.
Yeah, it's just.
And what, 13% from 3?
That's not the norm for them. They're just under 70% for the season as a team from the free throw line.
Omogbo settles for the jumper on Duncan. It's amazing how many coaches think, well, we're gonna attack Nick Duncan and make him play defense.
Yeah, and he said he scouts his opponent so well and does such a good job of position defense. I said, would it be safe to say he's a sneaky good defender? And he goes, that's a great way to describe it. He's a sneaky good defender. Understands the concepts defensively too, where he's supposed to be, how to help, what to do, and takes good angles and scouts his opponent like nobody else.
Well, just phenomenal defense by Hutchison as Page went to the glass. 5 minutes left. This is Austin. I would think at this point, Blaine, Colorado State has done by far the better job of creating the tempo that they want.
Yeah, they wanted this to be a half-court game. And Larry Stacey says one of the things he's been really pleased with this season so far with the Rams, even though they're young, he feels like they've been very good in half-court defense.
Now 1 for 4 from behind the arc for Duncan. Jessup still can't buy a basket. Tough first half for the freshman from Longmont, Colorado. In the backyard of Colorado State, but they didn't really go after him that heavy. Clavel in the corner. Fans getting a little restless here. 4 minutes to go, and their Broncos only have 19 points. They're going to call this on the ground before the basket.
Well, I think he's actually going to count it there. So they're going to say that they're going to give him Mogbo the bucket.
They are, you're right.
And he'll get one free throw to follow. But he muscles that one up on the glass, and he just attacks. And that's why this Colorado State team gets to the free throw line a lot. Their interior guys go and attack defenders, go to the front of the rim. When they have the ball on the perimeter, they don't settle for jump shots a lot. They'll take you hard off the dribble, lower that shoulder, turn the corner, and force you to defend.
Jackson with the traditional three-point play, so he's got 5.
Sorry, I was saying Amagbo, and that was Jackson with the strong play, not Amagbo.
Lead up to 6. Haney takes a seat. So you got George in there along with Duncan. The bigs for Boise State. Austin's going to put up a 3, no good. Great box out by Jackson. Clavel a little bit out of control there, but he got a lucky break, bounced off of the Broncos, and so it will be Rams basketball when we come back. 3:44 to go. Leon Rice and Boise State down 6. Peter Young and Blaine Fowler back inside Taco Bell Arena on New Year's Eve here in a chilly Boise, Idaho. I don't know. What do you think? That little shoot-to-win kid, is he going to stay up?
Oh yeah, he's going to make it. Oh, he'll make it. Look at him. He's already.
No, he's burning a lot of energy.
Yeah, that's true. But he's got a lot. He's got a lot to spare. Look at him.
He probably does have enough to spare for all of us, doesn't he? Boise State, the Broncos 0 for their last 5. If it's the last 4.5 minutes.
If it's like at my house, Peter, when we had kids that age, they had plenty of energy to spare. It was the mom and I that wanted to go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Every night, right?
Exactly.
And then you give them a little bit of sugar, and it's even worse,
man.
right? Oh, my goodness.
Well, not a great shooting night for either team, really, and we can credit that some to very, very good defense. Both these teams are playing solid defensively. Their help defense has been good. Very few uncontested shots, but both teams under 35%.
Well, a little step through the Page. Pull up from about 16. No good. And another offensive rebound And a foul on the Broncos. And so CSU will go back to the free throw line, where they're really helping themselves so far in the first half. They're 6 for 7.
And you mentioned just a bit ago, Boise State's just 4 of 11 from that free throw line, 36%.
So George will take a seat for the Broncos. And Hutchison back in. Front end of the one-on-one, no good for Jackson. So here comes the Broncos now. This one has been tight throughout. But with this little mini drought that the Broncos have got going on right now, they don't want to find themselves at halftime laying down, double digits. You need a bucket.
One had a really good look there.
0 for 6. And a Duncan with the offensive rebound. That should be a double dribble. Or did I just not see that properly?
Well, Duncan, he's going to get the foul on the baseline, so he'll go to the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus.
First foul on Jackson. Well, when you think of Leon Rice and the Broncos, you think of a team that shoots really well. Not exactly fitting the pattern tonight. Still only down by now 5 points.
Duncan, a guy last year, averaged 11.5 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, shot 35% from 3 and 44% from the field. This season, his numbers are very similar. Rebounding's down just a little bit, but I believe that will come for him. When you talk to the folks around the program, they say he's just a naturally smart guy. Not just in the classroom. He's smart in the classroom, but things just come to him very easily. He can look at scouting reports. Anything you teach him, he just picks up very, very quickly.
Clavel tried to thread the needle, ill-advised. Good defense by the Broncos. And here they come on the other end. Austin really can get by his defender at any time. Now he's got to make that smart decision once he gets into the paint. Reed, he gets into the paint, and he is fouled. This is what the Rams like to do. They duck their head, and they force the other team to foul.
Attack, attack, attack. And both of these teams do a good job with it. So James Reed will step up to that free throw line where he's a 71% free throw shooter. You mentioned earlier, he's the vocal leader on this basketball team.
Well, how about the comment that Coach Rice made earlier today was a great one, where he said, if Reed could have simply traveled with the team last year, he had to sit out because he transferred. He thought that would have led, because of his presence, to 3 or 4 more wins.
And he's really taken Nick Duncan and helped him to be a better leader as well. He's role modeled. Those two are roommates, and so he's had a really good effect on leadership with Duncan on the field.
3-point game, 2.5 to play, first half. Omagbo's going to try another 3, and he gets it to go. He's not shy. He's taken almost 30 this year. You wouldn't think it.
And his percentage has not been quite where he wants it to be yet, but he shoots it like he's confident. 26% from behind three-point line this season.
Clavel, kind of a mental lapse there. Didn't have a hand up and let Reed get an open look. Fortunately, he missed it. Omagbo now with 8 points and 7 rebounds in the first half, so well on his way to another double-double.
He's going to get number 15 tonight, probably. 15 career, that is, double-doubles.
Boy, that's 2 missed free throws in a row for Nick Duncan, who's also 1 for 4 from behind the arc. Made his first, now he's missed 3 straight.
Yeah, 76% free throw shooter. And sometimes missing free throws gets contagious.
Oh, boy.
This team, as a team, just struggling from the free throw line, and that's what's cost them being behind in this ballgame.
41% from the free throw line as a team.
Boy, that's not good.
That is not good. Ticky-tack foul on Duncan as Omagbo went up for the jumper off the glass, no good, but he'll go back to the free throw line. You got to get 2 shots, and that is the second on Duncan. So you got Duncan and Wacker for the Broncos with 2 fouls.
And what you're hearing from the fans, they watched the replay.
Watched the replay on the Jumbotron. They didn't like it. No.
On the big screen here in the building, and they didn't like it. Well, let's take a look.
Yeah.
And the problem is that the call is way early. I mean, it's just on the way up. And then when he gets to the top on his jump shot, there is no foul up at the top. The whistle was blown right at the very beginning as he was gathering himself up to go for the jump shot, not at the top when he was releasing it.
Omogbo now with 9 points and 7 rebounds, calling this his thank you season. His story well chronicled. The tragic fire nearly a year ago back in Maryland that took the life of both of his parents and a niece and a nephew. He decided to come back and play this his final year for Colorado State. And so every night he comes out to say thank you to all the fans and the CSU community that supported him so much.
Yeah, everybody rallied around Emmanuel Omogbo, and I don't know how you could possibly deal with that type of a tragedy, but he has come through this and been very, very strong. He's had a lot of support in that Colorado State Ram community.
6 minute and 20-second drought for Boise State, and it's continuing. 7 of 18 now from the free throw line for Boise State. They're under 40%.
And
that's 4 straight misses, I think.
You played the game for a long time. At what point does this just get in your head? I mean, it is at that point right now.
It's over there, yeah.
Where everybody's stepping up going, oh, I need to make a free throw. We're miserable from the free throw line. When everybody's thinking that, stepping up and towing that line, that's a problem.
Meanwhile, the Rams are at 80%. Part of the reason they have a 7-point lead. Well, half-court pressure and a blocking foul on Boise State prior to the basket. And so the foul's mounting up for the big guys for Boise State. George is going to get called for that. That is his second. So you've got Duncan, Wacker, and George with 2 fouls.
George trying to get over and take that charge, but just a half a second late of being established before the offensive player, in this case Bonner, left his feet.
Prentice Nixon has done a nice job this year from the free throw line. You really get to help yourself out, right? Nobody guarding you. This is really all mental. Nixon, the sophomore out of Bolingbrook, Illinois. We mentioned Boise State, how young they are. They only got 1 junior, 1 senior who play. Got 10 freshmen and sophomores. If you go past Clavel and Omogbo, Colorado State's got a young squad as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. Both of these teams lost 4 or 5 starters from last season's rosters, and watching these teams, you know, we've watched the league, and it's early, it's just the preseason, but this is a wide open league this season.
The defense, probably not the shot Boise State wanted from Austin. And now Colorado State, with about a minute to go, can push this lead to double digits.
Well, Larry Eustachy told us he wanted to control the pace. He wanted to take transition opportunities, but he wanted to make Boise State defend more minutes than his Rams had to defend. So far, I think that it's been according to the plan.
Another tough shot by Clavel, no good. Jessup with the rebound. And the Rams did a great job getting back. So here's Hutchison. Nice look. Reed wide open from behind the arc. Been that kind of a half for the Broncos. And we've got a hurt Ram. I think that was J.D. Page. So Coach Eustachy calls timeout. You got 35 seconds, 25 on the shot clock. I'm going to like this timeout. You got a 9-point lead. Let's take a good shot here.
Use the shot clock,
right?
Take a good shot, get a good look, make Boise State defend another 25 seconds here. And yeah, right now this game is being played to to Colorado State's pace, and Boise State would still be in it if they could make a free throw.
They're 8 of 19, so 42%.
Okay, you're down by 9 and you've missed 10 free throws.
Right.
That's the story.
And you're also 1 for 12 from the three-point line.
Yeah.
And that's your bread and butter.
You have to think that because they've played pretty good defense, so they've held Colorado State down from the field in terms of shooting percentage. Because of that, they're still in the ballgame. This thing could be even worse than it is.
this is a team, too, with so many young players. They took that trip to Costa Rica as a team in August. Coach Rice loved it. He had to emphasize so much player development versus trying to get in specific sets, working on this, working on that. Just develop these young players. So you kind of have that situation really every night now for the rest of this year.
And interesting, both of these coaches talked about, yeah, we are inexperienced, but by the time you get to December, freshmen aren't freshmen anymore. By the time you get to Christmas time, right. and you got to compete. It's league time. And it's funny, they both said we're really, really young, but both coaches said, but I like where my youth is at this point. They like where they are coming in to the conference season now and feeling like the youth has developed a little bit and that they've been getting better throughout the preseason.
So here we go, last half minute of the first half. Rams are going to milk it. Again, you got about a 9 to 10 second differential. Shot clock and game clock. Clavel going to go one-on-one and loses it. And Jessup has it. And he's going to go to the line. And he's going to shoot. Well, it has been a 7.5-minute drought for Boise State in terms of getting a bucket. I think they've only got the one free throw.
When coming out of a timeout, you expected that the Rams would execute better than that. The one thing that they couldn't do is turn it over and give Boise State an opportunity to go down and get points. And now not only have they turned it over, Clavel picks up a foul, and they're going to get a chance to get points without even being guarded.
Second foul on Clavel.
I've never seen
cheer, huh?
some fans so happy to see a free throw go down. He gets a round of applause for making a free throw.
A lot of minutes here in the first half for Jessup, 15, but that's his first point. 0 for 2 from the field and 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Well, maybe the lid is off on free throws now for the Broncos.
10 seconds to go. High screen. Here's Page. Waltzes right into Jessup with the block. 2 great plays in a row by the freshman. Here's Hutchison at the buzzer. Would have counted. But it goes in and out, and that's 1 for 13 from behind the arc in the first half for Boise State. 32-25 is our score at the half. Colorado State trying to pick up the road win and start 2-0 in conference play. Stick around, halftime coming up. Welcome back inside Taco Bell Arena. We're at the half, 32-25. The Colorado State Rams with the 7-point lead, trying to pick up the road win right before 2017. Peter Young, Blaine Fowler, 'tis the season to make those New Year's resolutions. We're going to lose weight. We're going to get a better job.
I'm going to do that again.
Above, right?
I'm going to do that again. Lose weight again every right. New Year. That's what I'm going to do.
And so both of these teams, we figured they've got some resolutions as well. So taking a look at the Colorado State Rams, what they want to do. And like you said, Blaine, every year somebody want to lose weight. Well, every year, Coach Eustace wants to rebound.
He says, hey, guys, got to lead the league in rebounding margin. Got to do it. Every year that's a resolution. But guess what? Right now, they're number 2 in the league coming into season play, or into the conference play, behind Boise State.
Yep.
So that's a big one. And then he said, the goal of our program is to turn young men into grown men. And that's an overlying theme. He goes, it's especially important this year because we've got such a young team, not as much experience. He says, so it's on the floor and off the floor that he wants to do that. And he said, so that was important to them. That's a New Year's resolution for Colorado.
All right, let's talk about Boise State and Coach Leon Rice. He's got so many young guys in his program right now, 10 freshmen and sophomores. And so his resolution as well with that many young guys,
develop consistency. He said to us, there have been times when we've been spectacular for spurts. And he says because this team has talent, but without a lot of experience, they have to develop consistency. And he wants them to develop that throughout, the preseason, which they've done. He feels like they've gotten better. But then get ready to go win a conference tournament at the end of the year. He says this thing is going to be a development project through the end of the year, and then he wants them to be ready to go win a conference tournament and get to the NCAA tournament and continue to get better. So those things go hand in hand. He feels like he's happy with their progress up to this point, but he feels like there's a lot of development for this young team.
I love the way he talks about continuing to get better. It's not just a cliche about in games, but he says every time his team gets together for meals, for practice, for the flights, they like each other so much, and they get better in every area.
They get better. As you mentioned, this opportunity to go to Costa Rica and gel as a team. We got a young team. That's a great opportunity, and it's good that the NCAA allows that. But he said they got better doing that, just hanging out together, and so he really likes this group. Young, talented, but he really likes them.
Young and talented, but they're not shooting well tonight. It's cold outside, and they left their game outside. They find themselves down 7, which is amazing, with as poorly as they've shot. We'll go over those stats when we come back. New Year's Eve in Boise, Idaho. We're at the half inside Taco Bell Arena, 32-25 your score. The Rams with the 7-point lead, which really could be a lot worse if you're a Boise State Bronco fan, because playing as poor as they shot in the first half, they're lucky to be down only 7.
Yeah, it's remarkable that they're this close. This could easily be a 20-point deficit at halftime when you look at the numbers, and partly because they played very good defense. They held Colorado State to 33%. This is a Colorado State team that came in shooting 43% from the field, so 10 points below theirs. But when you look down those numbers for Boise State, think about this. They're 20 percentage points below their season average in field goal percentage. They are 34% below their three-point percentage, and they're not making any free throws. When you consider that they're 10 of 21 from the free throw line, it's remarkable that the game's as close as it is. And so I think Leon Rice has something to build on in there. And Larry Eustachy, they've got to shoot the ball better and take better shots too.
Rebounding fairly close, 23-20. Halftime continues. Highlights coming up right after this. Taking a look at the highlights from the first half. This was the first three-point attempt of the night for the Broncos and their last make.
And Duncan was 1 of 4 from behind that three-point line in the first half, just 6 points, and was the leading scorer. This is Paris Austin from the outside, and Chandler Hutchison. 6 points for Hutchison, 6 points for Austin, and Duncan, I correct that, with just 4 points. Transition bucket that time down in the end by James Reed. He was 1 for 5 in the first half. It was hard to find highlights. We found the one shot that pretty much everybody made for Boise in that first half. On the other side for Colorado State, Clavel in transition. He was big time in that first half. 5 of 8, 3 for 3 from 3, 13 points and 3 rebounds, and he had a fantastic first half for the Rams offensively. And here you see Amagbo with a big block down low. 1 for 4 from the field, but Amagbo 10 points and 7 rebounds. He's tracking toward his typical double-double.
And he's got 3 assists and a block as well. Second half coming up, 32-25. Can Boise State shoot better this second half? Ready for the second half. Boise State trying to preserve their 4-game winning streak. Down to start by 7, only 25 points on the board. They go right to their star Hutchison. Jessup with a quiet first half, starts off with some no-wins in the second.
You know what, but he finished the half for Boise State in style. He finished the half with a steal, 2 free throws made, and a block shot to take his team in the locker room with what could have been a 10-point deficit, only at 7. And now he comes out and knocks down the first shot. I think it's very fitting.
Great point. Clavel's going to back his man down, and they're going to call the foul on Paris Austin. That's his second. How about the confidence that Coach Leon Rice has in Justinian Jessup? He got 15 minutes in that first half. Didn't really do a whole lot until that spurt you talked about, but here he is.
Well,
they kind of call him a little baby Drimmick.
Junior Drimmick, baby Drimmick. And although he, at this point in his career as a freshman, he's a little bit better off the dribble than Drimmick was. Drimmick was a great spot-up jump shooter early on and developed all the rest of his offensive game as he was here. But Jessup, very pleasant surprise, contributing earlier than Leon thought he would. And the guy plays with tremendous intensity on both ends of the floor. And sometimes freshmen don't play with great intensity on the defensive end, but Jessup does.
Clavel gets both to drop, so the Rams still shooting well from the three-point line. And they're going to call a foul on the screen on Wacker. That's his third.
Well, he had limited minutes in that first half because he got 2 quick fouls, went to the bench, and now to pick up that third. And Leon Rice doesn't immediately go to the bench. He leaves them out there.
He did the quick walk down there and scanned some faces. And, they go late. A beautiful pass. And Carvaggio just blows the layup. Although good job challenging by the Broncos. There's a good example of that explosiveness of Austin.
Paris Austin. The number one rule of transition defense is somebody has to stop the basketball. You run back to the paint, you talk with one another, and the primary responsibility is to stop that guy that has the ball, deflect him, take him away from the basket.
Clavel off of the pass, no good. Good rebound by the Broncos. Jessup thought about it, and they're going to call an offensive foul right in front of the official. Pretty easy call.
Well, and what made it even more easy was when Jessup put that left arm up and forearm in the chest of the defender and extended it. Then it becomes a really, really easy call. So you see that left forearm out in the chest of the defender and extends that arm, and then, boy, that makes it really, really easy for the official to call.
I was going to say it's really easy to call because he shoved him, right?
Yeah. Boy, look at this. So Boise right back in this ballgame after a miserable first half.
Great offensive rebound by the big fella, Carvaggio, battling on the inside. Boy, what do you think? I don't know about that. Gene Clavel kind of out of control, just ran into a body. And now Coach Rice wants to call timeout, and he does. This is one thing that he brought up earlier in the day that he just had to avoid, where you have a Ram player just simply running into a Boise State defender and picking up the foul.
Well, Clavel looked like he was a little bit shaken up coming off of that foul as well.
Well, and the officials and Coach Rice are kind of jawing at each other. This is, again, he was telling us too, Blade. He said, "You watch tonight. I'm going to get angry at this." And well, he's angry now.
Let's take a look. So here's Walker. See, and here, so you watch Walker. See that right hip?
Yeah, he did.
We've seen it called that way.
Yeah.
If he just comes in and stays straight up, he should get the call. Either a no call or an offensive foul. But he extended that right hip into the offensive player. And these officials they're used to watching for that. They watch to see, does he stay planted or does he take that hip and push it?
All right, we're going to take a quick break. 18-11 to go. Second half just underway. Stay with us. Ready to get back at it. 18-11 to go in the second half. Fans here in Taco Bell Arena still a little upset at that call.
Yeah, and it's a close call, but officials are used to watching, to see if a person slides that hip under the offensive player.
Oh, the lob intended for Clavel. Didn't see it coming.
Colorado State's fortunate to come up with that at all on that one.
George is in for Wacker, who has the 3 fouls. 8 to shoot. Page, pull up. Short, he's had a tough night.
Good defense, contested shot, tough shot. Oh, great body control by Hutchison that time, Peter.
And patience, too.
Yeah, you'll see guys come down to that type of play and get a charge because they're out of control. He just 2-foot jump stop, straight up with the basketball right over the defender. That was beautiful.
2-point ball game. Omogbo with his second 3 of the night.
Just 26% this season. We mentioned that in the first half, but he's not been shy, and he knocks that one down with confidence.
13 points, 7 rebounds. CSU now 45% from behind the arc. And the Broncos have done a great job this year coming into tonight of guarding the 3-point line.
Good help defense that time from Clavel from the guard line, dove down and helped out on the big.
And a nice take by Nixon as the weak side defense a little late in getting to the spot. So he will head to the line to shoot 2, where he is, again, an excellent free throw shooter.
Prentice Nixon, he was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, 3-time All-State player back in the state of Illinois, one of the top 25 point guards in the country. We talk about Leon Rice really liking this young team that he has at Boise State. Larry Eustace, too, has some big-time recruits on the roster for this one.
Well, another reason Coach Rice was so hot about that one call, that was the 4th foul on Wacker.
Right.
And now George has 3 fouls. So 4 for Wacker, 3 for George. But you got Haney on the bench as well. 3 bigs this year for Rice. Jessup with another 3. That's 2 in the second half.
How about Justinian Jessup, the freshman? Kept his team in it at the end of the half and keeping his team in it to start this second half on the offensive end.
He's got 8. Now Duncan's got to get a hand in the face of Omagbo. Boy, Duncan is not going to shut anybody down on the dribble, but he still is fairly effective. And how about the help from George to charge? You look at Duncan, and you think you're going to go by.
Yeah, no, you're thinking this guy cannot play defense. And George did a good job. See, he got and stayed stationary. And this year, you're seeing when the defender's allowed to leave the floor, they can jump up as long as they stay inside their cylinder and stay vertical. He jumped, but he stayed inside that vertical cylinder, and he picked up, a good foul on Colorado State.
Good hands by George to pick up that entry pass. And he gets the bucket to drop it, a foul. Good minutes off the bench for the sophomore from Germany. (39-37), 15:52 to go here in the second half. George will head to the free throw line to try and make it a 3-point play and a 1-point ball game. (39-37) your score, 15:52 to go. Robin George has been very productive in his minutes so far this year. He's only getting about 11 a night. But that last move, nice strong turn into the middle of the paint. He's doing all this with 3 fouls.
Yeah, and both he and Wacker with foul trouble in this ball game. But you got to be aggressive on the offensive end. And now he steps up to the free throw line where he's been a 60%, or take that, a 69% free throw shooter this season.
No good. Boise State still struggling from the free throw line. Now 10 of 22.
Yeah, 10 of 22 is miserable from the free throw line. Think about it. They're still in this ballgame. What if they're making normal amount of free throws for this Bronco team? They'd be well out in the lead in this one.
Boy, great defense by Duncan, but they're going to call a foul. Clavel does do a very good job of creating contact and forcing the official to make a decision.
Well, he is so aggressive with the basketball in his hands. And you see Nick Duncan looking up at the big screen. He wanted to see it. He wanted to watch himself on that one.
So now you got Duncan and George with 3, and Wacker on the bench with 4. And with substitution, so before Duncan can pick up number 4, Cameron Aluyaton checks in. And he has been fairly quiet tonight. Only 5 minutes so far. Omagbo with another 3. He's made 2 of them. Friendly bounce for the Rams, and Clavel gets the offensive putback.
Yeah, those deep shots sometimes come off the rim either long or they crazy bounces, so you've got to be real active to go get those rebounds. And how about that?
Austin goes right at J.D. Page, who has struggled mightily tonight. He's 0 for 6 from the floor, and Austin just went right at him.
A strong move by Paris Austin that time.
Teams now trading baskets. Caracho traveled. Well, how about this? We got 14:50 to go in the ball game. Boise State, your basketball. You haven't been able to hit the broadside of a bar, throw it into the ocean, take your pick of those analogies, right? And yet they could tie the game.
Yeah, they can take the lead with a 3-pointer here.
Amazing.
Amazing is right. But it's because of defense. It's because they continued to slug it out defensively in the first half that they kept the game in reach. And now defense really is spurring the offense. Good plays on the defensive end are creating opportunities on the offensive side.
How about the move by the freshman Jessup, the lefty, and one.
But if you're going to pick out an MVP right now, let's go from about a minute left in the first half till now. It's Jessup without question. A couple of defensive plays, some free throws. He's come out here real aggressive with a mindset he's going to post up down low and take the ball with the left hand off the glass, finish, and get a chance to make a three-point play and take the lead.
Was smart play by George and by Jessup to make sure you post up on the correct side of the court. He's a left-hander.
Yep.
Pass took him right to his shot. That's the third foul on Prentice Nixon. And the Broncos with the 1-point lead. Nixon, tough shot. Foot on the line. Would have only been at 2. Clavel with another offensive rebound.
And he's converting him. He gets the offensive board, puts it back up. He does it again this time. Offensive board, converts it into 2.
He's got 19 along with 5 rebounds. Rams regain the lead. A Louiaton for 3, no good. Here comes Nixon. Clavel again, yes, and he's fouled as he makes the 3. He is a streaky player. When he's hot, he is hot.
Yeah, and he is reminding me of the way he looked before the injury last year, where he's just so aggressive offensively, and well, you leave your feet. You got to close out. Even though he's a great shooter, you got to close out under control with your feet under you and with a hand up, and just go, because the chance of blocking that shot is slim to none. But the risk of fouling if you lurch like that is very, very high. And then you're not in a position to block out for a rebound anyhow. Close under control.
Only the 3rd miss of the night from the free throw line for the Rams. They still have the 4-point lead. Duncan back in the ball game. And Jessup for 3. No good. Good defense. Clavel goes high for the rebound. He is having a fantastic game. Now 8 rebounds.
I think Jessup thought he was going to come off of that screen from Duncan and be more open than he was, but Colorado State played it well.
Oh, tough little scoop shot from Nixon as he split the double team. No one there to help out. And just like that, Rams up 6. A pretty move by Austin and 1. And that's number 4 on Nixon. Can't believe it. Austin now with 12 points on the night. And this young man, only a sophomore out of Oakland, California. Look at that hesitation.
Bishop O'Dowd High School, really, really good program there in Oakland. And yeah, he has got great quickness.
That's supposed to be a slow motion replay.
Yeah. 12 points now, as you can see. 5 of 9 from the field for Paris Austin. Averaging 10.2 points a game.
Free throw's good. 3-point ball game. 13:03 to go. Reed has checked in for the Broncos. Along with Devakio Butler in for the Rams. Tough shot. A long 2 from Anthony Bonner.
Bonner, who's been really good from that 3-point line and from deep this year, is 42.9% from 3. That was just inside the 3-point line, but he has great range.
Good recovery by Omagbo to make sure Duncan did not have that uncontested 3. Reed with the floater.
Nice job. He knew that if he went one more step to the basket, that shot was going to get blocked by Omagbo, so he pulled up and shot that floater. Really creative in the key to get that shot off.
Omagbo from just inside the paint. To the 3-point line. Boy, he has got a nice looking stroke. 15.7 rebounds. Hutchison. Duncan. Pretty passing. They make the extra pass, and Duncan still can't get a 3-pointer to drop.
And there's one of those long rebounds. And a long 3 results in a really long rebound.
Zorch with the offensive rebound. They get to Duncan. Yes!
So 2 offensive boards that time down the floor result in a good-looking 3 down the barrel from Nick Duncan. And that's the stuff that drives Larry Stacey crazy Because he
read
feels
my
like
mind.
you got to clean those defensive boards.
Omogbo is going to try and answer, and he does. Omogbo now 3 of 5 from behind the arc. Reed, way short. Well, it's been an exciting second half here after some cold shooting in the first half. Both teams lighting it up. 5-point game. 11:05 left. Colorado State 55-50. Blaine, they've made their last 6 field goals.
Well, that first half was painful, I'm sure, for Leon Rice and the shooting percentage there. And they come and run, they get it back, and then to Colorado State's credit, they had a very, very good answer and have gone on a streak of their own now here, led by Mogbu, who's shooting the ball very well here in the second half.
Yeah, Mogbo's got 18, 3 of 5. From behind the arc, he's got 7 rebounds, leading rebounder for both teams. Hutchison also was 7, but he still only has those 8 points. It's been kind of quiet here this second half as Jessup has stepped up. Page almost picked up his pivot foot.
It looked like he did to me. It looked like he changed pivot feet halfway through that. But
5 to shoot. Butler goes right at the defense. And they're going to call an offensive. I think Stacy wanted shot clock violation before the foul. Second foul on Butler.
Boy, and we have.
That's great defense.
Yeah, Shea Bob that time. Oh, that was Robert George again, who came over with a help defense and got in position outside that restricted area.
George wanted the foul. Good up and under move. Didn't get it. They're letting it play on the inside. Tipped out of bounds by Colorado State. And the Broncos will keep it.
And that time for Colorado State, it was two teammates that knocked the basketball out of bounds, fighting for the rebound.
Hutchison, aggressive, right over Clavel. Won't drop. Jackson with the rebound. And they're going to call the foul. And that will be number 4 on Robin George. So you've got 2 of the big men for the Broncos, George and Wacker, with 4 fouls. We have not seen much of Zach Haney. I don't think we've seen him all the second half, but we're going to see him now because he's headed to the scorer's table.
And to George's credit, I mean, he's been playing with 3 fouls. We've seen him take 2 charges down there. We saw him be really aggressive down the offensive end. He didn't let the fact that he had 3 fouls change his game any, and he was still effective. He was in there, but now with 4, he's going to have to go to the bench.
Jackson with the front end of the 1-and-1. It's good. The Rams still shooting over 83% from the free throw line.
We mentioned the good recruiting classes that Larry Stacey's had. Jackson was a 4-star recruit. Rated the number 5 overall JC player in the country coming out of New Mexico Junior College. So,
and he's got 4 Division I transfers. Coach Stacey sitting on the bench, waiting to play next year. And Page with a shove on Austin. You get the feeling that Austin thinks he can go by Page at any time he wants to.
Yes, you do. Well, there's not very many people that can stay in front of Austin just one-on-one.
Rams quietly have built that lead back up to 7 after Boise State made the nice run to regain the lead briefly. Duncan penetrate, little floater, And he gets the friendly bounce.
Boy, he made a good ball fake with it. He was going to shoot the shot, put it on the floor, then came in and made a pass fake to clear some space before he shot that floater in the key.
He's got 9.
Is Crafty I think Crafty, he's a sneaky defender and he's a crafty offensive player.
Oh, nice turnaround from Jackson away from the defense. 4 straight for him.
And he's a really skilled shooter. He's got a great looking shot.
Haney, little jump hook, won't go. Gets his offensive rebound and is fouled. Great effort off the glass by all of the Bronco big men tonight.
We talked to guys about, hey, follow your shot. When he shot this, he knew which side he was going to miss on. He knew where it was going to be, so he tracked the ball down. And instead of turning, after defending and turning and blocking out, Colorado State defenders just turned and went to the front of the rim.
Haney gets the 3-point play, and it's a 59-55 score. And Jackson will stay in the game. It was Kamani Jackson who was guarding Haney. And just like you said, Blake, kind of got caught watching the ball bounce and didn't keep the body on Haney. Under 9 to play. It's been a very entertaining ball game, especially the second half. A lot of missed shots in the first half, but there you see what the Rams have done here as of late, 7 of 7. Clavel, pull up. No good. They could use a bucket from him, couldn't they? Hutchison, he has been fairly quiet.
He has been too quiet, and he's going to have to step it up if they're going to have a chance to get back in and take the lead in this game again.
Love the hesitation from Austin. You know, he is so quick. You're on your toes, your muscles are firing. When he gives you that hesitation, it's almost not fair. Austin will shoot 2 on the season, 71%. Tonight, 3 of 5. Well, they're getting there, Blaine. They're getting there. They're over 52% now. Boise State here
coming
from
back
the free throw line. Yeah.
Well, and their field goal percentage has really improved because here in the second half they've been really good.
Nixon checks back in for the Rams, and Page will take a seat. Two-point ball game.
Well, every time Boise State has closed the gap, or even at one time when they took the lead by 1 in this half, Colorado State's had an answer on the offensive end.
Nixon goes right by Reed, can't get the roll, and it falls into the hands of Duncan. Here comes Austin.
A good job of not forcing it that time. It was 1-on-4, and he didn't force it.
How about the patience of Duncan as well? He hardly ever forces a 3. Offensive rebound from Haney. Back out to Reed for 3 straight away. Shooters love that, but it wouldn't drop.
Yeah, when it's coming from inside out like that, and your feet are set right on that 3-point line, that's a shot you want.
And that's a fairly easy call as Haney came down with the arm. And that's only his second foul of the night. 59-57, 7:43 to go. How big would this be, Blaine, for Colorado State to pick up the win on the road? They came into Mountain West Conference play. They lost 3 straight. They lost to Kansas State, Loyola Marymount, and then at Long Beach State. And then they really took it to UNLV. To come on the road here in Boise and pick up the win on the road, go 2-0, that's huge.
That would be big. That would be big. I think, and that would be unexpected for them to get these first 2. You know, Larry Stacey talked about, these are young. This is a young team that's growing up, and he needs them to grow up. Yeah, it's nice to learn and win, and not have to learn in losses, right?
Boy, CSU continues to really do a great job.
17 of 20, man, that is getting it done from the free throw line. They've been the opposite, and as soon as we say that, they miss a free throw.
That's the second time we've jinxed them.
Yeah, 15 of we said it twice how good they were. They missed both of those.
Austin maybe a little bit out of control.
He lost that on the way up. But this Boise State team, shot it so poorly. 25% in that first half, and they're up over 50% here in the second half.
Bonner, nice dish. Good spin move by the big fella. Hutchison with the rebound. Jessup has been so good here in the second half, but a poor pass. Great defense by Omagbo. Clavel. And Jessup gathers the rebound. It has been really neck and neck rebound. One rebound separates the two teams.
Not surprising, Boise State came in to this game as the #1 team in rebound margin in the league, and Colorado State number 2.
Under 7 to go. Duncan lost it. Good help side defense by Colliker. Bonner, pretty move, beautiful move. Anthony Bonner only getting 13 minutes a night.
All of that created by good. The ball went inside, all the way down low, kicked back outside, and then back inside again. That inside-out movement created that beautiful seam for him to attack.
Boise State 2 of their last 8. Lost it, pull up, and it drops. When are we going to see a big bucket? Big play from Chandler Hutchison. Nixon, nobody in his face.
Wow, that was
how
deep.
About the
that was
confidence?
deep, though. They double dog dared him. It was like, you know what? If you want to shoot it from there, go ahead. And he said, oh, okay, I'll do it. I'll just knock it down from here. That was a deep 3.
That is a huge bucket for the Rams. 65-59. Austin weaves into traffic, and Haney had his hand on it and tried to tip it in, went out. It's going to stay with the Broncos. George will come in. Haney will take a seat. So George has 4. So does Wacker. We haven't seen Wacker in a while here in the second half. Here's Hutchison. Goes right at the glass. You'd love to see him do that a bit more often.
He has got to be down the stretch now here in this last 5 minutes. He's going to have to be more aggressive, more assertive offensively. They need his scoring.
A pretty little pick and roll, and Hutchison is forced to foul Omagbo, who will go to the line to shoot 2.
And that's what happens when you knock down a deep shot. Nixon just knocked down a 3. And so now he steps out there, and everybody looking to him, going, who's going to run out? Who's going to defend that as he distracts the defense? Omagbo's wide open. Good look. See, that him rising up creates a lot of attention from the defense, and it clears the opportunity for Omagbo to be open inside.
Omagbo now 8 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. Coming into this game, only shooting 68% from the charity stripe, but that number's going to go up. (67-61), under 5 to play here. Second conference game of the season for both of these teams. They won their opener. Both of them trying to go 2-0. Duncan for 3. Can't get that to drop. Have a Zorch with an offensive rebound and the putback. You don't anticipate playing a Larry Eustachy team and getting a lot of offensive putbacks from your bench, but that's what's happened tonight for Boise State. Seven to shoot. Bonner open. No good. Colliker with the offensive rebound. And they call the foul on Duncan. And that is his 4th.
And for Colliker, good hustle on the offensive glass gives him this opportunity to go to the free throw line. A long shot that was missed badly. But Colliker was in good position, even though that thing came hard off the rim to get the rebound. A very good free throw shooter, 81.8% of the strong suits.
He's from
Ray
your
Colliker's,
former hometown, right? You just moved how long ago?
We just moved out of Kaysville earlier this year, and he's from Kaysville, went to high school at Davis High School with my kids.
Small world. 5-point game, 4 to play. Hutchison. And one. And Hutchison does a nice job. He sees the help rotation and avoids the block.
So we've seen him 2 times now in the last minute. Go down, attack. That's what he has to do.
When we come back, free throw for the 3-point play. 69-65 our score with 3:55 left. Hutchison will head to the line to shoot a free throw to try and make it a 3-point ball game. He's got 12, the leading scorer for the Broncos. Kind of quietly, that young man there, number 30, Paris Austin, he's got 17.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a quiet 17, but he's gotten it in spurts, and he's been on attack, and we've seen how athletic he is. Just blow right by people with his quickness and speed.
Well, to think with under 4 minutes to play, Boise State still in the ball game and still only shooting 18% for the game from behind the arc. Well, so far, Blaine, the Rams have done a great job in this second half of weathering all of these little mini Bronco runs. They got to do another one now.
A huge defensive possession here, and they get a stop.
Nope, another offensive, and that was a fairly easy call on Hutchison. And the elbow right to the throat.
Yeah, the move that he made, he could have made without sticking that elbow out there, and it would have been just as effective, but instead he extended that arm and that forearm out and got Clavell right in the neck, and it was an easy call for the officials.
Missed opportunity for Boise State off of that Ram miss to capitalize. And the turnover gives it back to CSU. High screen for Nixon. 8 to shoot, he takes it. And Hutchison comes away with a great help side defense by Haney.
Haney did a good job. There's a big basketball team on the floor right now for Boise State. George and Haney both in there at 6'11".
Still haven't seen Wacker since he picked up his 4th. Hutchison goes all the way. Yes, how did he get that shot off? 1-point game.
You asked for it. You said he's been quiet. What's he going to do? 3 times now in the second half he's taken the ball to the front of the rim, which is, he's so long and so athletic. He either gets to the rim and finishes, or he's going to get fouled and get to the free throw line.
The extra pass leads to the wide open 3 for Bonner, no good, and Austin gets the rebound. And he is fouled by Clavell. And that is his 3rd.
But for Colorado State, they got the shot they wanted. They took the ball inside, kicked the ball out to the perimeter, wide open 3 with no defender anywhere close. And the miss forces a foul, and now Boise State gets a chance to take the lead here from the free throw line.
Yeah, double bonus is going to shoot 2.
72% from the line for Paris Austin this season.
Well, they make a couple more, and they're going to shoot about 60% from the game, which is really amazing.
Yeah, considering where they were.
They're almost in negative territory. Tie ball game. Eighth rebound for Omugbo. Two minutes left. Nixon, tough shot, and Omugbo with the putback. And now he's 1 rebound away from a double-double.
Well, Nixon on attack. He drew both of the bigs over to him to try to help defensively, and that left Amagbo with nobody to block him out. That's how he got the offensive board.
Good defense by Clavel. That's actually great defense.
Yeah, really good. Austin with his quickness wasn't able to turn the corner that time, and Clavel just kept giving ground and went straight up.
Minute and a half left. And Larry Eustace calls timeout, wants to talk things over. Do you like that decision from Paris Austin on that last trip down? I know you don't want to second guess too much, but you look at possession and the clock.
There's plenty of clock left, and it was a difficult shot, and I think they had time for a good shot. But he's been turning the corner so often, I think he just felt confident he could get there. He found himself in the air and didn't have a good shot, no place to go with it.
All right, so what is Coach Eustace telling his guys? They got the 2-point lead, 21 seconds on the shot clock.
He's reminding, there's 21 seconds. We want to get a good shot, so you don't have to use all 21, but don't take a bad shot early in the shot clock and work it inside out. Be on attack.
Amagbo with 22 and 9 rebounds, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. As a team, CSU is at 84%.
And for Colorado State, it would be time for their typical offensive set. Go attack and either get a shot at the rim or get to the free throw line. And Nix has been the guy that's been the one on attack. We'll work some clock here at first with a little weave. Now the clock down.
5 to shoot. And Hutchison with the steal. That's a foot race with the long arms right to the rim. Ties it up again, 1:08 left.
Great anticipation of the passing lane that time by Hutchison. Boy, he's had a good second half.
And a short guard has no chance on a play like that. Clavel wants room to operate. He's going to get it. Shot clock at 8. Good help. Great help defense by Boise State. And the Rams have to call timeout with only 3 on the shot clock.
Well, that was all about Duncan and the way he played that ball screen. He came out, and typically Boise State plays it really flat. They don't let you turn the corner, but they don't step out and force you back. That time Duncan came out and aggressively played that ball screen and forced Clavel to almost turn the basketball over.
All right, you got 39.2. It's a tie ball game. You're going to take it out of bounds on the side. You go to Clavel and hope he can just create something. You try and throw it into the paint.
Boise State's rotations have been really, really good. When in this last 3 minutes, as Colorado State's attacked the paint, the rotations have been good. But I still think you have to go there. You still have to go attack. The problem is they've been waiting too long in the shot clock. So if that first option isn't there, they're left without an option. Now here, you got 3 seconds. You're running your best side out of bounds play to get somebody a jump shot here.
And now, because of that last timeout, they have none left. So no timeouts left for the Rams. A pretty play, well diagrammed. Shot no good, but they run down the offensive rebound.
Wow, that was a huge.
And you don't need to foul.
Board.
I don't know if the freshman knows that. It's a tie ball game.
Good looking out of bounds play. Knew that they had enough time that they could do one pass after the inbounds pass and got a pretty good look at it, but wow, that was a big offensive board for Colliker.
Got about 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Here we go. Nixon. No one's open. Colliker, and he gets the shot off. Yes! With 3.9.
Offensive board gave them that opportunity, so Colliker gets the offensive board and makes a huge shot to give Colorado State the lead. And then for Colorado State right now.
No, they're going to finally call the timeout. I think Coach Rice wanted to get it in quickly and call it at half court. Well, how about the rebound and bucket by Colliker?
So the ball coming out. Good rotation defense again by Boise State, but an off-balance fadeaway shot hits nothing but the bottom of the net for Braden Colliker.
And he was the guy that got the offensive rebound on the previous miss.
Kept that possession alive for his basketball team. All
right, so now Boise State's got the length of the court to go. They're down 2, 3.9, you got plenty of time. You just give it in Austin's hands?
Yeah, well, if you're Colorado State, you want to force them to catch the ball coming back away from their basket. So you're going to give them the ball down in there. You're going to cover in the front court and not allow them to throw a pass over the top where the person getting the ball is headed toward their basket. So that's the defensive strategy. Make them come back to the basketball and make that player at least turn once, because that takes up a lot of time. If you're Boise State, you want to design something where a player comes off a couple of screens and can catch the basketball with momentum going down here, preferably Austin if you can get it. But you know what? Chandler Hutchison's not a bad option either. At 6'7", he can bring the ball up. So
yeah, about 2 or 3 dribbles, and he's covered about half of the court.
Yeah, and in the NBA, they'd advance it up here to the hash mark and allow him to have the ball in the front court.
And you could tell that's what Coach Rice wanted. I was impressed by the patience and the experience of Duncan. He did not go grab the ball right away and then start that 5-second count. He waited.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Leon would like the ball to have come into the front court and gotten a timeout then, and then being able to set up and out of bounds play. But if you're Colorado State, you want the ball to be caught going back toward the out of bounds where the basketball is.
Here we go. They get it into the hands of Hutchison. Shot for the win. Yes! Off the glass! Broncos win!
Are you kidding me with that shot? And Hutchison has come up huge in the second half for his Broncos.
For a team that was struggling so much with the three-point shot tonight, off the glass, the defense had tipped it, plenty of time. 74-73 your final. Don't you love college basketball?
Oh my goodness, 2 great plays on both ends of the court. And what looked like a boring, awful game in the first half turned into a great basketball game here in the second half.
So a huge home win for Boise State and a very bitter pill to swallow for Colorado State as they nearly get the win on what they thought was a miraculous shot with 3.9 seconds to go, but little magic left in 2016 for Leon Rice and Chandler Hutchison. So for Blaine Fowler, I'm Peter Young saying so long from Boise, Idaho, where the final score is Boise State 74 and Colorado State 73. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Happy New Year, everybody.